What's up guys, what's going on? Thank you for coming back for another one. Today I'm going to show you how I apply the new Fenty powder foundation. So what you see me doing is I'm just priming my face with the Fenty primer, and I then go in with the matte version of her primer, and I just put it in my T-zone so that I don't get oily. Now what you see me doing here is just taking my Anastasia brow gel. This is in the shade dark brown, and I am just slicking my brows down. I don't fill them in. I just do this so that my brows stay nice and sleek and they're not all over the place. This is the Fenty concealer in the shade 350. I just take a flat liner brush and I just clean up under my brows. This is how I give the effect that I just get my brows done, and a lot of people think I fill it in, but I really don't. It's just gel and concealer. It's crazy what these two products can do to your brows. Funny story is I haven't touched my brows in I think about a year or so. The only grooming I do is I just trim the top of my brows with a scissor, but that's it. I don't wax or pluck. This is a buffer brush from Morphe. I just use this just to blend in the concealer. You can use a beauty blender, but I think it's easier and more precise when you use this brush. This is the P. Louise primer. I'm not sure if the shade this is in. I believe it's 4. I'll link it down below. I'm just putting it on my eyes so that my shadows can stay all night long. And I'm using that same small buffer brush. And then I normally just take a beauty blender just to make sure that I get in the creases. This is the amrezy palette. I love it so much. And I was a little sad when that happens, but I have a backup palette, so it's okay. I'm taking the shade New Yorker, and I'm just putting it all over my lid. Wasn't really sure where I was going with this. I was pretty much just winging it, and yeah. Okay, so this is my favorite palette. This is the Huda Obsessions in the shade Topaz. I'm basically using that yellow color that's in there just to blend out the edges, because I went a little too high and I don't like when it goes up to my brow. I like to leave some space. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some concealer and just clean it up and just kind of like start over, just so it looks nice and precise and clean. This is that banana shade from the MAC palette that I'm holding. And I'm just kind of like setting it with this so it doesn't crease or anything. And I'm also blending the shades together. Now I am just gonna cut the crease. I decided I want to do like a little cut crease, nothing too big, something very light, because I'm going out today and I don't want to look that glam, but I'm gonna look glam, if that makes sense. So what I'm doing now is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm just taking that same yellow shade and I'm just putting it where I put the concealer. It's gonna be like a sunset kind of look, a daytime sunset. Now I'm just taking that New Yorker shade and I'm just blending that with the yellow shade just so everything has a smooth transition. And I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna put my liner and my mascara on. And I'm also gonna do an outfit change because my camera died and I needed to charge it. So yeah. So now I'm just putting concealer under my eyes to hide my bags because as you can see, a girl does not get her 8 hours of rest. So I'm so happy that concealer was invented to hide the fact that I'm sleep deprived. This is the Fenty concealer in the shade 370. So first I go in with my actual shade just to hide the dark circles. If you go in with the lighter shade, you don't hide it, you highlight your dark circles. So it's best to go with a concealer that's your shade so that you can cover all the blemishes and the redness and the dark circles that you have. That's if you don't want to color correct. So that's just a cute little tip I learned the hard way. But you know, we learn over time. No one's perfect. It's all a learning game. So I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and just blend that out. I'm very careful with this because I did my makeup before I did my complexion. Normally I do my complexion and then my eyes. So I'm just being careful because I already put the bottom mascara on and I smoked out my lash line, so I don't want to erase what I already had. And if you hear background noise, please ignore that. My husband is playing Call of Duty and there's really no way to, you know, shut that up. He just got the new PS5, so he is in heaven right now. Ladies, comment down below if your man has a PS5 or Xbox and plays Call of Duty and, you know, it just drives you crazy. Just drives you crazy. But, you know, at least it's having fun. Okay, so this is it's either 350 or 360. 360. This is 360. I'm just going back and just going lighter to just highlight those areas and just make me look brighter. And I just put a little bit like right in the inner corner and I just drag it out because, you know, less is more. Okay, so this is the Cashew Fenty setting powder. And I'm just gonna set my under eyes. I'm not gonna bake, I'm just gonna set. I don't like to bake because I feel like it makes me look ashy and just too cakey. I just don't like it. It's just not for me. Okay, so I'm just brushing that away because the star of the show is coming. Drum roll, please. So this is the Fenty Pro Filtr Soft Powder Foundation. I'm just butchering the name. I'll link it down below. You guys already know what it is. I start from my jawline and I just work my way up because it can be very pigmented and a little too dark if you start in the middle. So I find that if I start from the bottom and just kind of diffuse the powder up, it just matches perfectly. And I am in the shade 370. That's the same shade that I'm in all her other foundations. So I'm just going over that under lash line with the shade New Yorker just to make it more visible. Some of it disappeared when I set and I put some foundation under there. Now I'm going to take some bronzer and I'm just going to give my face some warmth and some depth. I'm going to bring this one-dimensional look 3D because I like a three-dimensional look. I feel like when you add contour to any contour bronzer to any look, it just takes your makeup to a whole nother level. Also put some bronzer in my crease just to darken it up a bit. After, I just spray with some Milk Hydro Grip just to make all the powders melt together. Now on to the lips. I'm taking MAC's Chestnut and I'm just gonna line my lips to get ready for the new Fenty lip cream balm. I don't know the name of it. I'll list it down below. This is in the shade Honey Waffle. So I put a little too much chestnut on, so I made my lip a little darker. But I decided to take some KKW in the number 1 just to go over it, just to lighten it up. I did not feel like erasing my lip liner and I did not feel like starting over. So the best thing to do was just go over it with a lighter shade just to give me the look that I was going for. And then to make it blend easy, I just used my finger and I just melt the products together. Okay, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys like it. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and a new video will be here soon.